We're just getting word in the last 20 minutes or so that the fire might have reignited. Our Brandon Spencer has been on scene for a while. And Brandon, you might have been the first person to actually spot this fire starting back up.
Yeah, Ben, the conditions changed here very quickly. As I was preparing for this 6 p.m. live shot, me and Savannah happened to look up and we saw a fire spark up. We immediately called 911, and just as fast as we called 911, an explosion happened. And it was huge. Smoke was everywhere, and it was crazy. We had to run to take cover because of how big the explosion was. Walking through the doors of Tallahassee International Airport early Friday evening were the family of once unidentified World War II Staff Sergeant William Woods, making for an extraordinary reunion.
Gas station on Havana Highway. And Brandon, it sounds like you're caught up in the party too.
Yeah, guys, it's a great time out here, but I'm not sure what you would do for free gas, but for those waiting in line today, they were willing to wait in a line as long as a mile long to get their fuel. Now, to put these things into perspective, guys, I spoke to a few students on campus who told me that if FAMU doesn't win this weekend, then they don't know if they'll be able to call themselves Rattlers anymore. Now, don't shoot the messenger. This just goes to show how big this game is this weekend. Reporting live at the I-7 Hills, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News. Thursday, July 28th would have been Malik Richardson's 25th birthday, but instead, his family gathered around his gravesite to celebrate his life. The dock that you see directly behind me is where first responders here in Taylor County brought a victim of a shark attack on the shore, with the resident here telling me they were fighting for her life. Well, Ben, Julie, there were several speakers during public comment pleading their case for whether this rule should pass or not. We can finally piece together what happened at the shooting here at GVO early Friday morning, which left one man dead and two others seriously injured. Well, Jacob, a spokesperson from the Tallahassee Police Department, confirming with me today that these are all active investigations. Now we're going to get started with the most recent of the three, happening less than 100 yards from where I'm currently at. Imagine you're taking your lunch break and you're walking down the sidewalk towards Publix when suddenly you run into a man with a bloody knife in his hands. That was reality for one Tallahassee resident Tuesday. Zachary Kimbrough says a Books A Million employee told him the suspect was walking behind him on his way to Publix, but the suspect said he wasn't in any danger.
I mean, I wasn't really scared because, he told me, he said he wasn't gonna do nothing to me, but I was like just shocked because, shoot, he just had the knife all out.
Feeling like his life was spared Tuesday.
Literally, I was just literally at the wrong place, wrong time, but God put it in, he stepped in and was like, hey, nah, I'm gonna save him. And good thing that the dude wasn't going on a rampage, because it would have been worse if he stabbed 3-4 people, because I wasn't the only person outside. It was multiple shoppers outside. So
the news of the stabbing bringing fear to nearby residents.
Complete shock. I mean, I just couldn't believe that a stabbing just happened. And what's the world coming to?
The recent strings of violence nationwide making people feel nowhere is safe.
Here locally and around the world, it's happening way too much. And it really scares me for my kids who are out and about all the time.
Honestly, a little bit worried because of something so ominous and dangerous happened in a place where people actually find peace in. Yeah. So it's really worrying, honestly. Yeah.
These three friends were planning to hang out at the bookstore just hours after the incident and now feel their safe haven could be compromised.
You definitely have to be careful and be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. But I feel like honestly nowhere is safe out in the city. You can see Books A Million. No one would think something would happen at Books A Million.
All hoping a stop to the violence is imminent. Books A Million did close for the rest of the day Tuesday, but say they will reopen on Wednesday. Reporting in Tallahassee, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News. Bainbridge High School principal Roy Matthews was loved by many in this community who tell me his death will leave a hole in their hearts that will be hard to fill.
I don't think you can be anything like this. So come out and here at the mall at the Governor Square tomorrow, 4:30 and 7:30, Saturday and Sunday. How can you miss it?
Performers like Beverly Tavera and Los Cobos will be displaying their talents and even let me give it a try.
It's funny. Viva Los Cobos!
Guys, I also like my chances, so I went out and bought my own Mega Million ticket. And yes, I will consider sharing with you guys, but for everybody else, you have until 10 p.m. to join the Mega Million raffle. For now, reporting in Tallahassee, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News. It says all she wanted was some late-night Hungry Howies, but instead was called a racial slur after being accused of playing music too loudly, something she says does not sit right with her. Well, Ben, Julie, as part of the new tradition, the FSU linemen have decided to gather for pizza prior to game days, and tonight, Dylan and the rest of the guys have a special guest joining them. For sure. Now, Ben Nabby, it may not seem like much, this new lounge for some, but for those student veterans who are transitioning from combat to the classroom, it means everything. Oh yeah, Ben, Julie, this field is gorgeous, and the feel is just, as you said, very nice, very comfortable for this band, as the Marching 100 logo is all across it. A fitting field for the baddest band in the land. This sign says the Blazers take Texas again, meaning this program has championship DNA, and they're looking forward to coming back with nothing but a victory. Israel Izzy Maddox touched the hearts of everyone she came in contact with, and when news of her death came about Thursday morning, those same hearts broke. The Rose Show Festival in Thomasville is a tradition like no other, and it has residents and visitors alike just excited to be a part of this century-old celebration. Imagine hearing about a suspect wanted for attempted murder on the loose, and then looking up your street and seeing that suspect running towards your home. This was a reality for these Monticello residents who tell me this wasn't your average Thursday evening. After hours of searching, the missing boater's body was found dead in the Suwannee River, and now his family is mourning the loss. So if you're a comic book lover or you just love special effects, Infinity Con might be for you, and it's here in Tallahassee through the weekend. Reporting in Tallahassee, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News.
Whoa, I was not expecting that like that.
The Tallahassee International Airport actually tells me they haven't experienced many delays, and flights have actually came in early. Good news for travelers like Hughes, who say they're going to continue to stick to a routine. Well, Ben, Julie, today's event had it all, from health services to child development services to even free diapers. Yeah, Jacob, while Saturday's first game hype didn't bring the traditional game day experience, fans still made their way out to enjoy some FSU football. Well, fellas, not everyone can make it to the NBA, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they're not good enough to go pro, but there may not be enough slots or opportunities. But with teams like the Tallahassee Southern Kings, it can turn these hoop dreams into reality. Yeah, well, guys, as you mentioned, I had the pleasure of watching them tonight. He is the real deal. I watched his team play, and I can definitely see why college coaches are raving about him, because he definitely lived up to the hype. And as a lifelong Kobe fan, I'd like to formally thank him for all he has done, not only for the game of basketball, but the impact he has had on the world as a man that refused to settle for less. So one last time, goodbye, Mamba. Rest in power. You will never be forgotten. Reporting in the newsroom, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News. Well, those closest to Coach Bowden say you can't talk about his impact without mentioning his faith and how he used it to power everything in his life.
That's really the mark of the man, his faith, his family, and certainly Florida State University.
Coach Bobby Bowden was a lot of things during his life. A pioneer, a champion, and most importantly to him, a man of God.
He was just so special in many respects, but he always put his faith in Jesus.
It's all about his faith. I think his faith was just not, unshakable. His faith in God and his beloved Jesus Christ, none of those were ever not a part of what he did.
Always willing to mentor and spend time with others.
Because he's just such a wonderful person. He always gave of his time to encourage others to do what's right.
Even in his death, his family wanting those willing to give to donate to Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a program he frequently made time to be a part of.
It was important to him to really develop, mature, set an example for, and really care about not only their life in this world, but the next life.
McCorvey, a former player of Bowden, says he's just hopeful he can use everything his coach taught him.
My hope is to flesh those things out in my everyday life too, as well as he's kind of pointed the way to how Jesus wants us to live.
Inspiring everyone he came in contact with to be greater.
You can build statutes, you can name names, you can buildings and things like that, but it's the man who people love and who they'll cherish forever.
I have always admired Coach Bowden for his willingness to take a stand for what he believed was right. He was not afraid to speak about his love of God, family, and country. He will be missed.
Coach Bowden's friends and colleagues say his greatest strength was his ability to stick to his values and never quit, and he continued that all the way up to the end.
If you ever thought you could play professional basketball, well, it might be your time. The Tallahassee Southern Kings are making their way to the Big Bend area, and they're looking for their next star players.
The Tallahassee Southern Kings will be one of more than 40 teams to be a part of the basketball league this coming spring, and they want the best players this area has to offer.
The Big Bend area has a lot of talent, and I think, it's just not a great opportunity for me, a great opportunity for the players, and it's a great opportunity for Tallahassee, period.
Coach Moten is a Gadsden County native and a former UF basketball player, and tells me what type of players he's looking for.
Because I'm hard-nosed, I like to get out there. I want the guy that's going to do the stuff that don't show up in the stats, like diving for loose balls, getting on the floor, fighting, tying it up, getting the jump ball, that type of thing.
Coach took me through some drills and his expectations, and let's just say you need to be in great shape. And for those who are, team market owner Damian Jones says this could be a great opportunity.
A league like this is a great opportunity for a lot of talent that's here in the Big Bend area. Unfortunately, growing up, this right here, we didn't have that opportunity, so we said, why not?
Giving local hoopers a chance to play close to home and even shoot their shot at a chance for the big leagues.
We bring scouts to our league. We have agents in our league. This year alone, we had 5 players get invited to the NBA Summer League. We had 1 player get picked up for the Harlem Globetrotters. We've had a coach that go overseas. We had several players go overseas.
All right, guys, so if you want to come try out, take out all these drills, come out to the Northside Community Center, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. As you can see, I'm out of breath, but if you think you can handle this, come on out. Tallahassee Southern Kings will be here.
Okay, so I want to know, was Brandon really trying to impress folks? Because looks like, he was doing some nice things on the court. See, he was kind of a point guard type. We'd hate to lose him around here, so we'd have to pull double duty. As Brandon said, the tryouts will take place this Saturday, October 16th from 2 to 7 p.m. at the Northside Community Center, so make sure to bring your A game. Lots of fun stuff.
I couldn't believe because I had no idea.
Tallahassee resident Lena Hill hasn't seen her youngest son in over 2 years. So when he popped out of an aisle on her trip to Publix, she had no words.
And I think I screamed, of course, out of sheer joy, but this belief is even here in the flesh. Right. Am I actually really about to touch, feel, see, hug, kiss?
The scream heard around the world comes as no surprise to Army Specialist Ethan Houston, who says this isn't the first time she's reacted this way.
To be completely honest, I almost expected it. Yeah. When I graduated basic training, I was only gone for 2 months, and she screamed the same way when she seen me then. It's been 2 years. I know it's coming.
Houston tells me he used to see welcome home surprises all the time on social media, so he decided to create his own.
I used to watch videos of soldiers coming home. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I want to do that for my mom. It's not every day you get to surprise your parent.
But the excitement didn't stop there. Hill decided she wanted to return the favor and give her son a surprise of her own.
Welcome home!
Throwing him a party at Lux events with his family and loved ones.
We got him good. We surprised him. He came in. Y'all got him. Y'all got him.
Hill wanting to make her son's time back as special as possible.
I just want him to feel happy at home because in the next couple weeks, he'll be going back doing what it is he does for our country,
Enjoying everything we all take for granted this holiday season.
Come home, I can decompress, I can forget about work for a little while and just, hang out with my folks. Can't beat it.
In Tallahassee, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News.
It's not really words that could justify how I was feeling. But I'm just so excited to be here and I'm so excited to be able to provide that.
Dylan Gibbons describing this moment. Finally reuniting with his biggest fan, Timothy Donovan, after over a year of not seeing each other. The pair not missing a beat.
This is really surreal. Just all this time, it's been a couple years, and finally getting to see him again, and then picking up right where they left off. It's awesome.
The former Fighting Irish lineman raising over $50,000 to help bring Donovan to Tallahassee for a game that means so much to the both of them. But the family says it's bigger than just the money.
No, it's not about the money. It's more about what really means the most to us is the fact that Dylan's there for Timothy. And the fact that we know that if Timothy ever needs a friend or help with anything, that I know he can contact Dylan and he will always be there for him.
Thursday, Timothy got to meet the rest of the offensive line as they gathered for a pregame pizza tradition, a moment he and Dylan were extremely excited about.
I'm just so excited for Timothy to be able to enjoy the game and for the whole family to be here and really just make the most of it.
The family telling me they're thankful for the love they received from the Seminole community.
It was really overwhelming and heartwarming just to see how much love they have for Timothy. I felt like all of Tallahassee was expecting him, so we're just happy to be here.
And although they're Notre Dame fans, when it comes to the game, the family says their alliance lies with Dylan. Reporting in Tallahassee, Brandon Spencer, WCTV, Eyewitness News.